Coming up on today's Code Bet Daily, we have every sport under the sun, I think, for this weekend. We're talking AFL, NRL, EPL. There's even basketball. What else, Alex? What are you looking at?
I've got a long-term bet in the EPL that doesn't cash out for 366 days, but I feel very confident about it.
Nice one. We have the donation. We've got Rate My Multi. We've got everything going on. It's player props, game picks, best bets. It's got it all. How good is that? It's Code Bet Daily. You better check it out right now. Welcome to Code Bet Daily. It is Friday, TGIF, am I right? It is May 25 all day. It is episode 118. That's 118, Alex. That's just...
too many.
It's getting ridiculous. I am your host, Jaymz Clements. I'm the editor of Code Bet. That's a very good website. You can find it at codebet.com.au. If, in fact, you're listening to Code Bet Daily and you aren't actually reading the website, what are you doing? Go on. Get around it. I'm joined, as always, by one of the pontiffs of punting. It's Alex Donnelly over there. What are you? The Junior Executive Vice President of Content Creation. I think that actually puts you under Stats Guy, but that's fine.
Yeah, but his thing just literally says Stats Guy. Like, there was a company-wide meeting yesterday and the boss went, Jaymz, Alex, Stats Guy. Like, he literally has forgotten Stats Guy's name, which when I set out to make Liam Stats Guy, it's finally happened. It took me 8 months, but I'm proud of my efforts.
I dig it. All right, we've got a big weekend ahead. It is Code Weekend Daily or Code Betting Daily. Checks out Code Bet Daily. It says it on the tin. It's codes, it's betting, it's daily. The weirdest part is you'd usually go, hey, Jim, you really like your basketball, don't you? I'll be like, yes. Like, what are you going to talk about then? I'm like, I don't know. The NBA Game 5 of Heat Celtics that I gave all the tips for in yesterday's show is about to tip off today, so that's going to be pretty fun.
I wonder why we're working at home today, Jim.
Is it because I can park myself in front of the TV?
Yes.
It's also so our workmates don't see me absolutely losing my mind and some of my multis missing like they did a week and a half ago.
Yeah, that was fun.
That sucked. Anyway, so today we'll have player props, game picks, best bets. I'm covering off a bunch of AFL and NRL and a quick look ahead at some of those NBA odds. I actually do have a World Cup pick that sort of jumped out straight at me as well.
World Cup?
FIBA World Cup.
Okay.
So that's basketball.
Okay, I was about to say there's 3 coming up.
So I might throw there in the best bets. But either way, what about you, Alex? What are you looking at today?
I'm everywhere. I've got AFL, NRL, EPL. I've got a thing for the next season of EPL already, and of course the time-honoured donation.
Nice. Love the donation. I've also got Rate My Multi at the moment. I think I've got it's now ballooned out to 10 legs. So
it was 5 literally 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, just a bit of degeneracy there, and I just throw an extra a couple. Anyway, player props, easy ones for me this week. I've broken down the Sydney and Carlton game in the AFL tonight. You can find that at codebet.com.au. It's a pretty extensive, nice, well-written, well-researched article.
It's probably the nicest thing about the game.
Probably is. I don't think this is going to be that awesome, but we do have Lance Buddy Franklin. We talked about this in the AFL show. I feel like I skipped over it even a little bit. We did shine a light on. We did say the old the stats. So was it 73 goals in 19 games?
Yeah,
that's Buddy's 4th highest amount against any team, but it came in the least amount of games of those top 4, which is kind of scary if you're the Blues. You're like, oh, hang on.
You also add in his 16-3 record against Carlton throughout his career.
Just doesn't lose. He averages 3.8 goals a game. So the 3+ I think is what we had in the paper and in the preview on the site. I wouldn't be giantly surprised if he goes absolutely bang as just the focal point and absolutely towels Jacob Wiedering up and down the SCG. What do you reckon a 5 for Buddy at? It would sort of fall out there, Alex.
Given the form that he's in, it really should be Harry McFive areas, the price. But because it's Buddy and you've got to add on like the Buddy tax, it's probably like $8-9.
No, this is why this is in today's show. It is $23 for 5. I am all over it. All over it because
he hasn't had 5 shots on goal all year. Like he had 4 last week, and that was his best game. So this could be that. I'm back, prime time, Friday night. So Doug Nichols, he's been a part of the Guernsey. He did an awesome photo shoot as well for the game. So it could be Buddy time.
It felt like, and at that price, you're just like $23, 5+. So for a bloke who's kicked 10 goals, 7 goals, 6 goals, and 5 and 4 twice against the Blues, that just screams at you going, oh yeah, could do it. I love that. So obviously the 3+ is the sort of set low. Yeah. That's where you sort of land out. That's $3.60, which is still really good value, obviously, because he's just slowly worked into form. The only problem I can see is if Carlton actually do step up finally in this game and sort of put the doubters to rest.
Yeah.
but I don't trust Carlton as far as I can throw them, which as a playing group of 22 young, fit, quite large gentlemen, I don't think I'd be able to throw them very far as a collective, you see, Alex.
Yes.
So I don't trust them very much is what you might read into that. But Buddy going big, the price on that is just fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it. And in terms of that rest of that game, we talked about yesterday, Charlie Curnow doesn't mind playing against the Swans as well. His 5+ is only 420 still. Like, it's just,
Well,
you look at the difference in value. Like, oof.
I got a little bit of confidence last night with some of the selections that the Swans made. Like, before I was like, this is going to suck. This is going to suck. But then I saw that Lewis Melican's back. He's 195 centimeters tall, Jim. I did not realize that. So I'm like, he's going to have fun following Charlie around in his first game since 2021.
Jeez, best of luck getting absolutely towed up by Harry McFive. The vibe behind that as well. So Carlton brought back Tom de Koning as well, which is good.
Because Jack got dropped.
They did drop Jack, which, I don't know, there's just sort of more positional variability, I think, with someone like de Koning than Silvani. And de Koning can actually kick. Silvani just sprays it more than, I don't know, my 4-year-old standing in front of the toilet bowl. So there we go. Anyway, other ones. I've got a couple of other good player props, I think. So just digging into some of the other games that I've got, I'm looking at Port and Richmond on Sunday. There's a great just bet same game multi, just the really straightforward ones that you just click on, bang, they're right there. Butters for 25+, Rosé for 25+, and Wines for 20+ is $2. I loved it. Just straight off the bat, boom, off you go. It's actually pretty good value because if you look at Butters, Rosé, 25+, they're right down in that 110, 115 range, right? Because they're just doing it each game. Yeah. Wines has had a couple of good games back to back, so I'm feeling pretty okay about that.
Yet
so
again,
for that to be
a Port Adelaide player I yelled about found form.
I like it. And there's one NRL one that I wanted to throw at you as well. Mike Asibo, just an anytime try tonight. Yep. And the Eels to win, which I think it feels like a given. That's $1.70. Again, I think that was a better same game multi as well. Nice. So 14 tries in 12 games for Micah. He is leading the NRL in try scores this year. So why not one more against this horrible Cowboys team that's already been decimated by Origin?
And also coming off 66 points against the West Tigers.
Exactly. But also there's the Cowboys, anytime they travel into state, they've been horrible. So I really like Sibo to get him. That's my easy NRL player prop for tonight. What about you, Alex? What's your player gear?
Yes, I've got a couple. We'll start with the EPL on Sunday night. Liverpool taking on Southampton. Liverpool are going to win. We know that. I got onto this after I was already thinking about it, but then I saw a certain Instagram and social media post by one Mohamed Salah this morning. Basically, it's as if he had this in his drafts, Jim, because within 5 minutes of Manchester United smashing Chelsea 4-1 this morning, his Champions League qualification chances gone. So he's put out there, this wasn't good enough. We're better than this. As a collective, Liverpool are meant to play Champions League every year, blah, blah, blah. He has found form sort of in the back half of the season, Salah, and you can also just feel like this. Yeah, he's going to be fired up this weekend. Last game at Liverpool for Bobby Firmino before he leaves, one of the absolute heroes and sort of like a soul of Liverpool, that bloke. But Salah to score 2 or more goals against Southampton this weekend, who have just stunk up the joint this year. That's $5, which blew my mind.
Hey, I like
He's
that.
got 7 goals in his last 8 games and 4 assists, and then you sort of delve into, on Sunday specifically, at least 1 goal in his last 5 Sunday games. So $5 for him to score 2 or more against Southampton. Give me all of that, because this is just one of those downhill ski boys. It's a bit of FIFA, nothing to play for. This could, honestly, I would not be shocked to see a 7-8-0 on this, because Southampton are just defeated and Liverpool sort of just, it's that, you know when you take it out on that really crappy team preseason? It's one of them.
Now, this is the Rage 2K game where you're like, my team just got beat in the playoffs. I'm going to go smash in the 2K.
And you play it on amateur and win 500-0. It's genuinely that. From that, we'll go across to Perth, yet another what feels like a Rage game as well. Zach Merritt to get a lot of disposals against the West Coast Eagles. In the last 2 wins that the Bombers have had, he has had 35 and 39 possessions. 35 plus, $2.90. I think we get that. If he's had, 39 last week against Richmond, he can very easily get that again against West Coast. But 40 plus, Jim, $7.50 with our friends at Bet365. I was like, I need to have a slice of that, because that seems a way too good a price, given the fact he had 39 last week against a substantially better Richmond side, coming up against this West Coast, where this just could be tap, handball, kick, tap, handball, kick. That's what I feel like.
That's good. Because I was on Zerrett last week, obviously, in that Tigers game, and he smashed that. I felt pretty confident going into it, and then you're watching that game, you're like, he's just at the fall of every ball for the Bombers. Like, this is great. Like, without Parrish there as well, right?
Yeah.
Like, it just makes it more just on his shoulders, and I loved it.
Yeah,
so
it's like
I called it last week. It's good to lean on it again this
he
week.
handballs to Shield handballs to him, something like that. And then the final one, young Nick Dacos against North Melbourne this weekend. He's had 40 or more in 3 games this season, which is insane. He only averages 26.67 at Docklands, but then you sort of look, that was last year at the start of the season. Hasn't played there yet. 40 plus against the North Melbourne Kangaroos is $4.75. As I flagged yesterday, I feel like this is going to be a run-with game. This isn't going to be that defensive, boring slog. It's like, we're going to let the kids run and see if they're any good up against Collingwood. And if we get beaten by 10 goals, we get beaten by 10 goals.
Yeah, that game screams 130 to 80 and stuff like that, right? Yeah. I like that a lot. That's a great one because I think Dacos, the 40-plus last week as well, right, was one of those ones you're like, ooh, the value's still really good.
Yeah.
The value's now better against the worst team.
Yeah, because he didn't get it last week, but he had it against the Giants.
Yep. Nice one. All right, match game picks for the weekend or whenever. I think we've got a bunch of AFL and EPL here, and I've even thrown in an NRL on there. Jeez, covering a lot of ground here. The Saints Hawks, first thing tomorrow, Saturday in the AFL. If you're watching this game, more power to you. Because
I feel like this is like watching Sydney and North Melbourne last week.
Very true. I'll be. I think I'm working tomorrow, but I think that's right. We're going to sort that out. Actually,
I'm working Sunday. I thought I was working Sunday, so
Saturday, it turns out. The under is 155. Everyone's gotten onto this as well. This has dropped about 10 points, I reckon, in the last 3 days. So the 155, $1.88 with Ladbrokes at the moment. I'm going that under still.
Yep.
Hawthorn averaged 60 points until last week, shellacking of West Coast, and I don't know that they will be able to put up 40.
No, there's going to be like a wall.
So I think the Saints will handily win this. I want to probably steer clear of the line for the game pick on that, the 25.5, 26.5, just because I just don't really trust the Saints to put the boot in either, really. So there's those classic sort of doubles, the win under double for the Saints would be pretty handy value anyway. They probably get you over the 230 mark or whatever. But the under just screamed at me just because the Saints, the best defense, Hawks were absolutely horrible offensively most of this season until last week. And there's a couple of good ones. So you can check out the preview of that on codebet.com.au. I wrote that one a day or two ago. Sticking with the unders, Carlton Sydney. I've already mentioned this one yesterday. The under, I'm still leaning on it just pretty hard. I think it's just going to be an absolute just choke out game. You're like, oh, why am I watching this? I'm just making myself sad.
But sometimes when you see those like 80 to 70 games are supremely entertaining.
In the last quarter.
Yeah, true.
Just, I don't know about the rest of it. And Richmond Port.
Yep.
So I'm covering this one for Sunday's game. I'm going the over in this one, 167.5. Port can score. Richmond can score. Been proven. I think Port, in terms of points per game, I think the two of them are actually – Richmond have sort of dropped pretty dramatically from last year, obviously, where they were – second, I think, in the league. I think we wrote about that in the Damien Hardwick piece we had on the site this week, right? Where they were second last year. They're now all the way down in 15th at 77.9. But it also feels like we've seen them have pretty substantial upside, right? Where they have put up pretty big scores against good teams. And if Port, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like their defense is like terrifying by any sort of, vague idea. But Richmond have fallen apart. They fell apart against Gold Coast. They only put up 104 against West Coast. They only had the 78 against Melbourne. But then they turn around and have that awesome game against Geelong where they go over 100. Yeah. So I think they sort of should be okay in that regard. Of you go, 15th in scoring, that's not very good. Whereas Port are 4th and cruising, right? They're over 90 points a game. I just think this game at the MCG early Sunday afternoon, just a nice free-flowing, free-scoring affair where you pretty easily hit the over and, we go 100 to 90 something. I still think that's going to be pretty close, that game. I'm passing that out for our preview goes up later today. I'm I keep going back and forth. We picked Port, I think, yesterday, didn't we?
I was Port.
AFL show. And I'm just so tempted to go, Richmond, man. Richmond. But I've already made my pick. Warriors versus Broncos on Saturday is another one. Warriors minus 7.5 at home against the Broncos, who are missing 3 or 4 of their best players. 4? Yep. To the Origin camp. So, Warriors will smash them. And Broncos travelling as well. I don't feel great about that.
Nailed Warriors Dolphins and Dragons last night too. I was at the line and Phil was 13 plus, and the Dolphins won by 14. So how good's life?
I absolutely nailed that as well. I think because I had a couple of tweaks in the paper for that as well, and Isacco Jermaine to get over, smashed it. He had the first try as well for the Dragons, not for the game though. So missed that one. But I'll get that on the big jobs. What about your game picks?
Yeah, we'll start off with that game over in Perth. Essendon minus 43.5. That's the line. I can't believe it. I thought it'd be 60 or 70. So
it should be 60. So what are we?
So Essendon minus 43.5, but rolled into the over 172.5 total points for the game at $3.20. So having a dig into this. Essendon this year, in 3 of the games that they have won, have kicked 124, 108, and 104. They also put up 104 when they lost to Geelong, which was 104 to 132. You have a look across at the West Coast form. They've conceded 1,158 points in 10 games this season. But just listen to this. 152, 142, 136, 126, 113, 109, 108, 104, 87. And in their win, they conceded 81. So, awesome. It screams 100 plus. I said in the preview yesterday, Essendon 111 points or more. Well, it's going to be 112 basically. Really keen on that. This feels like if Hawthorn can put 142 on them, you're like Essendon can put 140 on them. Back at home as well, their losses at Perth Stadium this year, they've conceded 152, 126, 113, 108. So this just screams well over 100. They can score some points, even if they get their 6-7 goals, but Essendon score 20 to 25. This just screams like this is going to get the over and Essendon win by 80 points, sort of like 140 to 60 or something. But this screams well over that. 172.5, which I thought would be a bit more, as well as the line. I'm just going to take the line as well. Really keen on that. Going across to Liverpool, Southampton, already talked about that. Over 4.5 goals, $3.20. As we said, the rage game, score a bunch of goals, win easily. Even if it is, 4-1, 5-1, something like that. Just get us over the 4.5. That's $3.20. We go across to Newcastle and Chelsea. This is at Stamford Bridge, last home game of the season for Chelsea. If you hate watch Chelsea, go watch the highlights from this morning. That last goal that they gave up when Rashford scored was just a comedy of errors. Fofana, what were you doing, mate? Oh my God, that was just... Anyway, Newcastle minus 1.5, $4. So if we have a 2-0 win, we collect. This game almost feels like it's an under 2.5 goals too, but it's a Newcastle 2-0 win because Chelsea I know they scored late, but Jesus, they're broken, honestly. They can't be this bad next year. As I roll into what my long-termer for next year is. Bet365 already have some markers for the EPL next season. Do you think that Chelsea can finish above Tottenham in the 2023-2024 season, Jim?
Or it depends if Harry Kane is still there in Tottenham.
Well, that's it. Whereas I'm of the belief he is absolutely out of there. He is gone. Currently, right now, both teams have 1 game to go. Chelsea 12th, Tottenham 8th. I think Chelsea can just not be this bad. It is impossible to be this bad with the forecasting of Harry Kane leaving. You're getting $1.50 about Chelsea to finish above Tottenham next season. I am all over that. Tottenham are going to continue to slide down the table. Chelsea will be up in the top 6 again next year for sure. They have too much talent in that squad. And with the new manager to come in and sort of clean house and fix up everything that's going there, Chelsea will charge up the table next year. $1.50. I know it's a year from now you're going to collect, but seriously, just throw it in like some stupid long-term multis because that will absolutely happen.
Nice one. I like that a lot. I do like the $1.50, long-term future because I've actually got exactly one that's going to pop up in a second. So good stuff. Nice. So you kind of stepped on my best bet, but that's fine because it's that good.
Yeah.
The Bombers over the Eagles. There was you can find specifically different team total markets, obviously, and the Bombers over 126.5 in this game, $2.66. I could not believe that when I saw it. I'm like, yes, please sign me up. What are we doing here? This is awesome. The Bombers, you've broken down like all their averages, what they've hit, and what West Coast have had scored against them. Yeah. This is very clearly one of the most explosive offensive teams in the AFL.
When they get going.
When they actually get going. And against a team like the West Coast Eagles, it's like, yeah, pack her up, boys. You're done. Jake Stringer kicked 6, as you said yesterday, and no one had noticed or care because it doesn't really matter. But I feel like, the likes of like Langford, Sam Draper and co will step up to and have those. Just like, it's one of those scoreboards you go, everybody kicked 2.
Yeah.
Like, it's like nonstop, right?
I feel bad and worried for how confident we are about Essendon because it'd be so Essendon to grind out like a 70-50 win.
It is the Sheedy Bowl, but here we go. And one extra sort of aspect of that Richmond Port thing, the dead coach bounced, so Andrew McWalter takes over. that's going to be just a weird one. That's like one of those things where I think I said on the AFL show, I'm just like, I'm staying away probably betting a result in that one because I'm not really sold on it. It's probably Port 1-39, but dead coach bounces, man. It's really tough to predict. There is another one over 171.5. Oscar Allen 2 goals, cash, and Jake Stringer for 2+ in the better same game multis as well. And that Bombers one I really liked. It fell in, I think, around that $2.30 mark. So Harry McFive, as per usual, that's $13, I think, this week. No, 15. I had that open. Where's that?
I think you said it was $15 yesterday.
15 yesterday. It is $13 now. So, I don't know. Just not entirely sure he's going to kick 5 against Sydney in Sydney. But the one that I mentioned earlier, the FIBA World Cup, that's your $1.50 future. The USA.
Yep.
$1.50 to win it this year.
I mean, it's a shorter term than mine.
It is. It's in August. The thing is, it's always a bit wobbly. You go, the USA, they're the best team in world basketball. Yes, they are.
But don't like Spain or someone random just always take it up to them and try and beat them up?
This is the thing, Alex. They came 7th in the last World Cup.
Jesus.
It was an absolute schmozzle. They did win, I think, their 4th straight gold at the Tokyo Olympics, but that World Cup fall over where you have you got teams like Spain, France, Australia, even Serbia if the Joker decides to play. I don't know if he's going to be. But,
what about Greece with the Greek freak?
No, I don't think not sure if they qualify. No. That's one of the weird ones. So the qualification thing for our World Cup can be a little bit tricky. The Boomers are at $8 with Betr the other day when we wrote about it. I don't actually mind that for the gold. I'm just saying, I'm calling them a shot. $8, boom, off we go. But the $1.50 for USA if you want to be sensible. Right. Are you ready for Rate My Multi?
What do I have to give it a rating out of? Stupid to not stupid or ridiculous?
Yeah, that might just do it there. Stupid or not stupid. Richmond at the MCG against the Port Adelaide Power. 10 legs. Jason Horne-Francis, 15 more disposals. Zach Butters, 25+. Connor Rozee, 25+. Dan Houston, 25+. Dusty Martin, 2 goals. Jeremy Finlayson, 2 goals. Travis Boak, 20+ disposals. Ollie Wines, 20+ disposals. Port Adelaide -4.5 and the over 167.5. Tell me how that loses.
I think Dusty's your worry.
Dusty with the 2 goals.
Yeah, I think that would be the worry of all of them.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I've leaned pretty heavily on Dusty, and he hasn't really disappointed too much lately. But that is a tricky one. It always gets a bit wobbly, and they when Richmond fall over, as we saw against Gold Coast, they fall over bad. Yeah. And so that's I feel like when my brain sort of keeps going, it's just like, but the dead coach bounce. Does it keep them in it? Does it keep them in it? Who knows? I don't. I mean, if I did, I'd be backing him. But Dusty's had 2+ in the last 2 weeks as well, right? Yep. So had 2 against Essendon, 4 against Geelong the week before. We'll see how he goes. So nice one. And there you go. What do you reckon? So how do we rate that?
Not stupid, but Dusty is a worry.
All right, good one. Yep. The only other one that I didn't Houston is Dan Houston's been really good.
Yeah,
the 25+ for him just feels like that one extra stretch.
I was about to say, if you get him 20+, I'd feel a lot more confident.
Yeah, he, Boak, and Wines at the 20+ feels pretty solid. The weird thing about Port is apart from Rozee and Butters last week going off, they don't have that absolute. This guy averages 30 disposals a game like a lot of the other top clubs. They do spread it out that little bit more, which is probably a lot to do with their success, really. So you do have those little worries of Butters and Rozee going to get over the 25, but they tend to, and that's what they're averaging. So I'll take it. So there you go. Rated my multi. What is this, Alex? Are we ready?
I believe Gerald was meant to have a bit, but you know what? He doesn't. Apparently, he just said, I don't have the song on the soundboard. That's okay, Gerald. We'll have it ready for by the time we get into the new office, and I want the screen to explode and something because it is time for the donation, but Jim can sing it.
Donation! Alex got it all. Donation! It's definitely gonna maybe go all right with
Oh, God, my voice is gone too. Same as my ankle. Pack it up.
Just chop it off and start again. All right, the donation. We'll start off tonight at the SCG. Chunley Warner to get 25 or more disposals in game number 54. His beloved Sydney Swans in front of the big crowd. He loves the big time, does the Chunley. Fremantle Dockers plus 18.5 against the Ds. I have tipped Fremantle, but I think that 3 goals, I said it in the preview, that 3-goal head start just feels nice, warm and fuzzy on the insides. We go across to Geelong. GWS. An alternative line, plus 53.5. Pretty keen on that. I don't see them getting blown out. They should be competitive against an injury-ravaged Geelong. As stated, Essendon minus 43.5. I can't believe that's the line, but we'll take the line. Parramatta Eels minus 10.5. They will absolutely decimate the North Queensland Cowboys. The New Zealand Warriors head-to-head, you've already talked about the line bet there. The Warriors head-to-head. Then a couple of EPL ones that'll just win. Arsenal will beat Wolves, Liverpool will beat Southampton, and Man U will win their game as well. And, of course, we need to find a horse for the weekend as well. Eagle Farm, race 6, number 9, Solidify. Graham Rogerson and Ryan Elliott in the Sires Produce Stakes to place. Those legs, Jim, will get you $108.26. If you want to be arrogant and think Solidify will win, $249 exactly with our friends at Ladbrokes.
Yeah, that's the arrogant part. Jeez. Freo, we've both picked Freo. The plus 18.5 sings to me. The GWS one, we sort of broke it down yesterday down at GMHBA against Geelong. They have got a half-decent record against the Cats. I just worry about them just not getting run over. Like the Cats will sometimes just do that against a half-decent team. But you are getting 53.5, so even if they win by 40, you still feel pretty good. Essendon, yeah, I love it. I love that. That worries me. I worry how much I like that. All right, good stuff. That's it. Co-Bet Daily done for the week. We'll be back on Monday.
We're office bound for the next 3 weeks. Home office.
We're out of it. Yeah, home office bound, which is going to be interesting. I think we can maybe duck in and out of the studio, or maybe a new studio. We're going to figure that out. But either way, we'll be back on deck Monday. As always, we'll have the EPL show, the AFL.
No APL. Oh, no, EPL's done.
Jeez, pack her up, boys. Got to get you doing another one now just to keep you working.
Gerald's going to kill you.
We've got the AFL and NRL shows obviously next week anyway. You can always check out NBA Australia as well, which is loosely affiliated with the show.
We'll do a special State of Origin on Tuesday as well, give a sort of a 24-hour lead-in, and Phil's already said that he will do that.
Yep, nice. Excellent. Because we were planning on doing a live stream for that, but I don't think we have a studio.
No.
So
it's literally the sledgehammers are getting taken to it, maybe by me.
So get right around all of the shows, the AFL, NRL. This EPL one this week is really good. We've got Marcus stepping in for Stats Guy as well. It's really good.
He had a very good stat.
Like, review, star them all, would you? And check us a follow across all the socials, Twitter, TikTok, IG, Facey, YouTube, Twitch. And send in any questions, any comments. Want to rate those multis, go nuts. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, cheers, Jim.
Thanks to Gerald for producing, as always. Does a great job, does Gerald. We put him through the ringer, but he always comes out shining. And thanks to me, just for, I don't know, hanging out, talking NBA, and actually getting through a show without really having to cover much basketball. Pretty weird. It's going to get a lot worse in about 2 weeks' time. Anyway, what do we say here, Alex?
Gamble responsibly.
All right, may your picks come in. Happy punting. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you on Monday. Go Bet Daily, out.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.